I want to do a little podcast just by myself because I am a person that suffers with ulcerative colitis. Now, there's a lot of you out there which suffers, a lot of you out there that can relate to what I'm going through. There's a lot of you out there that got the more severe form. You have got Crohn's, and there'll be some of you that got the less severe form where you got IBS. And it's very debilitating. The reason I wanted to talk about this now is because I do so many different videos about inspiring, encouraging, and supporting people. And I will always do my thing. I'll always be me and do what I got to do. But also, I have a condition. I have ulcerative colitis, which it affects me. And I have been in remission now for the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years. 4 years, I think, more than it is the three. And everything has been really good. I've had a little bit of a niggle now and again, but nothing to write home. And I got put under an element of stress around about 5 to 6 weeks ago. And that stress is in a working environment, and it snowballed on, snowballed on, snowballed on. And it's not an environment I can remove myself from. It's not like there's something going on in my personal life and I go, I'm going to remove myself from that. I am, and I have to be involved in it. And it's caused me an element of stress. So I went away to Florida, and a couple of days before, my stomach, and I didn't feel too good. I thought I'd be all right, I'd be all right. So we goes away, and then the first 3 days I didn't drink alcohol when I was there, and when I arrived in Florida, and then all of a sudden, then I thought, oh, I'm all right, I got grips of this. But no, I hadn't, because obviously I had some alcohol when I was out there then, which can agitate it, which can, especially if it's not dormant, and it's in the background lurking, and even when you think you're all right, but I wasn't 100%, and I still had a bit of alcohol when I was there, which is a big no. I come back, I had a drink then last Saturday in the house, and I got up Sunday, and I was in pain. I was in pain all day. I suffered tremendously, and all week I've been suffering. It's not as bad as it was, and I have got a grips of it, so I am on the right road. And what I want to say is we have to look after ourselves. If you have got ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, stuff like that, you have to do everything you possibly can to try and disconnect yourself away from stress, in environments that cause you stress, people that cause you stress or anxiety, because stress is a massive contributing factor to why we have flare-ups. Yes, diet is into it as well, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. But if you're around stress a lot, then what is going to happen is your body is going to pick up on it. And like mine, is picked up on it a couple of weeks later, and then it's come out. And, it's not nice. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I really, really would not wish this on my worst enemy. But I'm lucky at this moment in time because I'm not showing blood. Now, anyone with colitis and Crohn's, you pass blood, and a lot of it. And what can happen is you lose a lot of weight over a short space of time, because then you stop eating, because you're going, oh, what if I stop eating and my bowels are not going to want to pass? But it's not the case. They still pass because you're passing blood. And everyone thinks, oh, you're going to the toilet all the time, it's just poo. No, you're passing blood, a lot of it. And when I've had my biggest of flare-ups, and when I was with the narcissist ex, she caused me, a flare-up when I was going through the COVID era, and I ended up having one of the COVID jabs, which is the biggest mistake I ever made. I didn't want the COVID jab, but then they said to me, because we go to the States, you had to have it. You want to let us in? I had it. I had the biggest flare-up that I've ever had, and the mental stuff that it does is unbelievable. Like, it took me to a dark place where I didn't want to be here no more. I said, enough is enough. I can't cope with the pain. Uh, my mental state was shattered, devastated. It impacted on my girls, because obviously they seen their dad self-destruct. I was locking myself away in my room. I wouldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't even function on my own business. I wouldn't even answer the phone. I was a shell of myself. It took me to the darkest place possible, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It really, really is horrible. And the only reason that I am still here is because of my two beautiful daughters. Because I always fight for them. Always. And I always get emotional when I talk about my girls in such a way, because they are my driving force. They're my backbone. They are my everything. They are my world. They are my complete and absolute everything to me. The reason why I do what I do, the reason why I do videos for you guys, is because I want to inspire you and realize that you might be in bad places now, but you can be in a better place when you turn things around in your life. But having this condition is somewhat debilitating. So when I go through a major flare up, I feel like an old man. I can't function. I live by the toilet. I can't go anywhere. We're thinking, well, is there a toilet there? How close is the toilet? Because when I have a major flare up, the need to go to the toilet, I got split seconds. If I don't go for within split seconds, then accidents can happen. And I don't mean poo, I mean blood. And it's horrendous. And when you go to the toilet, you're shaking, your hands are shaking, your whole body goes into quivers. It just drains and zaps your energy. And when I had my last major flare up, I lost. I think it was close to 2 stone in under 7 weeks, and that's not good. Now, when you want to lose weight, and you lose weight because you want to lose weight, and you do it a hard way, it's because you've got control over it and you're working for it. When you lose weight when you've got an illness and you've got no control over it, that is not fun at all. And I many a time stop myself from eating. I won't eat at all because if I don't eat, and then I even to a point I stop myself from drinking any fluids because I was like, oh my God, he's going to play me up. But I had to learn over the years of the condition. And I've been diagnosed this back in 2009. So I've had this for 16 years now. And I done a food diary at the beginning. I'm hoping this podcast will help a lot of people out there which are suffering or just learning about it right now and don't understand it. So caffeine is a big one. Like having a lot of caffeine in your diet, remove it. Remove it. Change your coffee and tea like I have for decaf. Do I have caffeine drinks now and again? Yes, I have. A lot of drinks got caffeine in it, but I minimize what I have. If I'm in the middle of a flare up, I will not have anything to do with caffeine whatsoever. I know my limitations. So for argument's sake, when we change wherever I go, you always hear me get decaf tea, decaf coffee, all those kind of things because that is what is better for me. Caffeine is not good. So I will have small doses of caffeine when I'm all right, but I know my limitations. If I have more than 2 caffeine drinks in a day, I'm going to cause myself a little bit of upset and a little bit of a problem. If I minimize that, taking the problem away by going for decaf, then I minimize the problem and minimize the risk of me having upset or, flare ups. And it's like with food, it's like high in fiber is not good for you. They say, get your fiber in, it's good for you. It's not good for you when you got stomach conditions. So I reduce fiber. I don't eat things like Weetabix, peanuts, those kind of things high in fiber. A lot of things got fiber in there, but it's like I will eat white bread, not brown bread, because believe it or not, brown bread is bad for me. I will have brown bread now and again in moderation when I'm not in a flare up, but I again know my limitations. But it's things that is a big no-no for me. Like I can't never eat peanuts again. I can't ever eat Weetabix because if I eat those kind of things, they will play me up. They will cause me a problem, and the next day I know. And even now, even though I know what I can eat and what I can't eat, and people think, oh, there's loads of things you can't eat. Well, there's loads of things I can eat as well, like which I'll go into in a minute, and you'd be surprised at what helps. But the colon finds it difficult to break down. Like so, when you get all the fiber and you get all the hard things like peanuts and stuff like that, the colon finds it hard and it disrupts the colon, and then it causes us problems. So I eat a lot of meat. A lot of meat is good for training, but it's good for the body. Now, everybody watches Eddie Abu, and some people think, oh my God, Eddie Abu is barking mad. No, he's not. He's actually right? The meat does heal the body. And talking from a person which got ulcerative colitis from experience, when I go through flares, like I'm in a mini stage of a flare now, not a major flare up, I'm in a mini stage of a flare up, which, I'm coming to the end of it slowly but surely. It'll take a few more weeks, I would have thought. Hopefully not, but it might do to realistically grab a grips of and a hold of it. But meat is the key. Meat, pasta, those kind of things. But meat, I eat meat. I've been eating loads of meat this week. And because I've been eating loads of meat, more than I normally would, then what has happened is my colitis is starting to go to bay. Why? Because it's what the body needs, it's what the colon can break down. And, meat does heal the body. So all the, single ingredient foods like fish, chicken, sausage, stuff like that. I have had bread this week. I had bread last night because I'm all right to have that in small doses. But if I was in a major, major flare up, I wouldn't have the bread whatsoever. But meat is the key. If you eat a lot of high protein foods like meat, fish, chicken, all those kind of things, steak. When people say, oh, it's bad for you. No, it's not. It's good for the body. It is good for the body. If you are in a flare up or you're in the midst of a flare up and you don't know what's triggering you, right? Then strip everything back, eat meat, right? Even if you only do it for a week, right? See how you feel with that, and then maybe gradually introduce your things. But write a food diary. If you are new to this and you've only just been diagnosed, you don't. What I done to begin, I wrote a food diary. So I'd write down all the things that I'd eaten every day, and I'd done that religiously every day for probably well over a year. And then if I got up one day and my stomach felt a little bit disrupted, I'll go, right, what have I eaten the day before? I'll revert back. I would look at what I've eaten. When I said, well, I always eat this, I always eat that. I haven't had that for a while. So then what I'll do is I'll remove that out of there and eat those other things. And if I eat those other things and then my stomach is all right, then I know it was that one thing. And that's how I learned about the peanuts and stuff like that. Now, I've always been told about high fiber and caffeine and stuff like that. I knew that was being disruptive, but I try and test things myself. But when you are in a flared up stage, you need to just strip it back. Just go for basic food. Just go for your meats. Forget about everything else. Just go for your meats. Just go for meats, or even like say pasta. Your colon will break it down. The meat will help your body recover. It reduces the inflammation dramatically, and I cannot say that enough. Meat dramatically reduces the inflammation within your body, whatever's going on. And I'll say it again, Eddie Abu has it right in what he is saying. And because even before I knew Eddie Abu, all the years when I've reverted back to eating meats and eating fats and stuff like that, it has helped my inflammation drop dramatically. And also things like CBD oil. CBD oil is a must when you're in a flare up. Have CBD oil, a couple of droplets on the tongue, get it from Holland Barrett. Also, I take omega-3s, take the highest dose of omega-3s that you can get, the fish oils. You get them from home baggers, places like that. Aloe vera, that's another good one. It's a drink that you can get from Holland and Barrett. All these kind of things are things that I've tried and tested, used over the years, and they work efficiently for me. But honestly, with your diet, go towards meat. But look after yourself. Do everything that you possibly can, because honestly, when I've been in a flare up and I've been in a major flare up, I don't want to be here no more because the mental stuff it does to me, it drags me down that hole. And the last flare up, I had a big one. It took me 8 months to recover, and that's 8 months of hell. And every day I woke up, I didn't want to be here. I really didn't want to be here. I just wanted the pain to go. I didn't want anyone around me. I will push everyone away. I'll close the door. I'll even push my own girls away because I don't want them to see me in the level of pain that I'm in. And it's hard, even though they do come to see me and they see me crying. I remember my own father, when he see me cry in the pain that I was in, and I've never seen my father cry, and he cried, and he goes, I don't want to see you in this pain. It's horrendous. And I really, people do not understand, because it's an illness you cannot see. On the outside, you might look all right, because when I'm fit, and I'm going to the gym and doing this and doing that. But believe me, it's an illness that nobody wants. And just because you can't see it on the outside, it doesn't mean people are not suffering with it. It's a hidden illness. But I do everything I can, and I got medication as well. But I do everything I can to help my body. And this is why, one of the reasons why every so often you will see me go, I'm not drinking alcohol for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. I do it for a reason, even though I only have a drink on the weekends, because I want to give my body a rest in between. I don't want to push the boundaries, because they do tell you should never drink alcohol, but you got to live life, right? You got to enjoy life. So when you're not in a flare up stage and you got it managed, then yeah, introduce certain things back in it. Keep the caffeine reduced, stay away, keep the fiber reduced, and get some protein in. Make sure you get a generous of protein in through the week, some meats and stuff like that, because that's always going to help. And just look after yourself. If you do drink alcohol on the weekends, enjoy it, but every so often have a couple of weeks off it. Give your body a rest, give your body a chance to recover. And that's exactly what I do. And I wanted to share this with, I can go on all day about this, and I've never really done this kind of video. And I wanted to share it with a lot of you out there that are potentially suffering right now. And for all you guys that you're just new to it. I spoke to someone yesterday, I'm not going to mention them, on TikTok, and they, you know, are going through this process now, and they don't understand what they can eat and stuff like that. And obviously the health system is slow with giving the information, and to be honest, do they give you the correct information? Yes and no, because they'll diagnose you, they'll tell you this, tell that, but you know your body, and you got to work out what works. But caffeine and fiber are the two factors which are going to play a factor in causing flare ups. So reduce it and watch what you eat. Look after yourself. Do some kind of form of exercise. It all helps. And if you're into cold water therapy treatment, that helps to reduce inflammation in the body. So do everything you can to just look after yourself. And you know what? If this podcast has helped one person, then it was worthwhile doing this and explaining my little story, my little journey with it. Because it's been 4 years now and I haven't had a flare up, and now I'm going through a mini flare up, and I'm gripping hold of it before it becomes a major flare up. So I know now what to do when it happens. I'm like, and I haven't felt like this for 4 years. 4 years I've been as normal as everybody else, just going about my life and just eating the things I want, but obviously not eating the things that are going to cause me problems. And all of a sudden now, because of stress levels in my working environment that I cannot avoid, unfortunately, it's caused me to have this flare up. But I've managed to get hold of it and do what I need to do in the early stages to prevent it from going into a full blown flare up. So I hope this podcast reaches who it needs to reach. I hope it helps, resonates, and I hope you guys get a level of support from this that are suffering and trying to work this out right now.